Hello and welcome. Today we're doing a pick a card reading to get a glimpse into what your finances will look like 2 years from now. This is a timeless reading, so anytime you find this video is exactly when you need to hear this message, and it will apply to 2 years out from the time you are watching this. I always use the cards to channel messages directly from source and the spirit guides, deities, and collective that I work with, so this will be exactly what you need to hear whenever you find this video. As we dive into this reading together, I just want you to remember, as always, that you are the creator of your reality, so always take what you need from these readings, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Find your own truths, clarity, and alignment in these readings, whatever that looks like for you. And if you are new here, welcome. I am so glad that you found this channel and this video. My name is Taylor Eaton, and I am the author of the Wealthy Woman Oracle deck, which is one of the decks that I have here for you to pick from today. So a couple quick notes, just 2 quick notes before we dive in. First, we are currently sold out of the Wealthy Woman Oracle deck, but pre-order is open for our next print run, so if you want to reserve your copy and get it as soon as possible once it starts to ship, the links to pre-order wherever books are sold and also directly from my publisher, which is, by the way, the fastest way you will get your deck shipped to you if you want it like really as soon as possible. The links for all of those are in the description, and my publisher's link is in the pinned comment as well below. I created this deck specifically for use in abundance and money or success readings, so if you want to be able to get the guidance you need at any time to manifest more abundance into your life, wherever you are in life and whatever you desire, then this deck is for you. In this second announcement, which is more of just a general reminder, because I say this in every video, that I do not offer private readings outside of my Wealth Vibe membership. That is my low-cost monthly membership. You can find all the details on that in the comments below. But outside of that membership, I do not offer private readings or personalized readings. So please do not be scammed by anyone in the comments or on other social media platforms pretending to be me. I will absolutely 100% never, ever, 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 ever message you and ask you to pay me for a reading. So now that we have those announcements out of the way, let us run through the different decks we have here and their crystals so that you can pick your deck. So we have deck 1, deck 2, deck 3, and deck 4. For the crystals, if you like to pick with crystals, we'll take a quick little close-up look at them here for you. So for deck number 1, we have our Emerald Jade crystal. That's what your crystal looks like, if that is calling to you. For deck number 2, we have our Fire Quartz, which is so shiny that I'm trying not to get too much of the glare from my ring light on it, but hopefully you can kind of get the feel of that one. For deck number 3, we have Rhodonite, which is just such a cool looking one. It kind of almost reminds me of Neapolitan ice cream whenever I look at it. So there's our Rhodonite for deck 3, and then deck 4 we have Galena, which just caught my eye the other day. This the crystal shop that I like to shop at, and I could not step away from it. So that is deck 4's crystal. We will be incorporating multiple decks into each of the readings, and I will of course list all the decks that are used throughout this video in the description below in case you're curious what any of them are called or where you can purchase them. You can absolutely watch more than one of the different deck readings if more than one is calling to you. That just means that there's some guidance for you in each of those readings. I just highly recommend, especially because we're looking at what does your financial reality look like 2 years out, I recommend if you watch multiple decks, just make sure you are using your own internal discernment, your own inner guidance, intuition, to tune into the pieces of guidance that are meant for you to take from each of those multiple readings you watch and leave the rest. So, with all that being said, go ahead, choose your deck. If you need some extra time, just pause the video here, take however long you need to choose, and then click the timestamps below in the description to jump to whichever deck or decks you are called to, and I'll see you in your reading. Hello, deck number 1. This is your reading to uncover what your finances will look like 2 years from right now. So we might also touch not just on your finances, but on your career. We're going to see what comes through. An important note here that I really want to drive home for you as we dive into this reading is that I am reading right now for what you are currently on track for. I wanted to say it that way because I want you to understand that you can at any time change your trajectory and therefore your future. So you can change that at any time between now and 2 years from now. And that depends on, the thoughts you think, the energy you're in most of the time, your habits, your mindset, your actions, right? All of that stuff, it plays together. And every little choice you make shifts your trajectory, right? So if you want support in more intentionally shaping your future financial reality, or just staying on track and aligned with the one that we uncover here in this reading of what you're currently aligned with, then you are more than welcome to come join me inside of the Wealth Vibe membership, because that's what we do in there with our monthly challenges, our book club, our exclusive card readings, our meditations, our resources, our high vibe like-minded community. Basically, I created this as a low-cost option for people to help you learn how to take your inner power and translate it into outer abundance. So if you feel called to join, I would love to get to connect with you there and support you on your journey. The link for the Wealth Vibe membership is in the description below, as well as in the pinned comment. So with all that being said, let's dive right in and let's shed some light on what your finances look like 2 years from now. So universe, tell me, let's see which cards come up for what does deck two's money or finances look like 2 years from now? Ooh, I'm getting some strong guidance. All right, I'm going to put this deck down, actually. We're going to come back to the deck you picked later. I am going to start with the Wealthy Woman Oracle deck because as I was shuffling, the guidance came through to grab that. And it makes sense. I designed this deck because most decks out there aren't designed for money readings. And that's why I made this one. So what better deck than this? Oh my gosh, deck one. You got the Wealthy Woman card. This is the titular card of the deck, right? Wow. I see you. Oh my gosh, deck one. It's so funny because it's like you're the first card, the first reading of this whole video that I'm doing. And there's a part of me that says it can't be that easy, right? And I can tell that's not coming from me, it's coming from you. But what I'm seeing is 2 years from now, you have everything. Right now, you're currently aligned to have everything you desire and more. Like I'm getting whatever you're dreaming of, the amount of wealth you hope to have in 2 years, double it. At least double it is what you're currently aligned for. That's what you're on track for. But the thought that came through, right, that when I pulled it was, and it was very clear, it wasn't my thought. It was the thought of the universe showing me that reflection of where you are right now, which is, it can't be that easy. It can't be that easy. So here's what the universe wants to share with you. And this is just the first card, and we're going to pull so many more in this reading, but there's so much guidance here already, is that the universe is saying you're on track. Like where you are right now, it may not seem like you're on track to be where you want to be financially 2 years from now, or maybe it does seem that way. Either way, you're having doubts that you're really on track. There's some doubts, there's some feeling like I have to be doing something more or something different, or I have to be different in some way. And the universe is like, you are right on track. You are right on track, but the challenge is just going to be staying on track, not self-sabotaging, not getting impatient and then pivoting right when the money you wanted was right around the corner. I'm getting the sense that that may have happened to you in the past, or you've had some instances like that, or, or you're about to potentially if you kind of stray from where you are now. So the universe is saying where you are right now is perfect. And even if it feels like you are a million miles away from the wealth you desire, the universe is saying, no, I've put you there. You've ended up here so that you can get here. What's coming through really, and this is something that I also personally, not just channel, but I tell my clients all the time, I tell the people in my Wealth Vibe membership all the time, and I tell myself all the time, from what I found from doing this work for almost 6 years now, of working with people with money mindset manifestation, is that when the road to money, the road to the wealth we desire is rarely ever a straight one, it's rarely ever a linear one, and it's rarely ever the one we can predict. I can't think personally of a single person who I have encountered, and I've worked with literally thousands of people to manifest more wealth into their life, all right, in my 6 years of my business. I cannot think of a single person, whether in my business or elsewhere, even people who have achieved even more than me or less than me, I can't think of anyone who has accomplished the wealth they desire or more and said, yeah, it happened exactly how I thought it was going to happen. I'm sure there's some people out there, they are the exception, not the rule. And yet our society trains us is the interesting thing, right? To think we can predict how the money's going to happen. Don't get me wrong. Having a strategy is fine. Having a plan is fine. Especially when it comes to like budgeting, saving for future things that you want. And, all of that is fine. The universe is like, cool, do that. But also know that how you're going to get to exactly where you want to be and actually better than that in 2 years' time, deck one, it's unpredictable. The universe is saying where you are right now, you cannot even fathom how you're going to get there. This doesn't mean you stop trying or you just give up or you just, expect it all to magically work out and give it zero effort and you don't focus on it at all. It's just to say that the important thing is for you to keep your eye on where you want to be, on what wealth you do desire to have, because you're currently aligned with it. So just keep your eye on it and keep each day, each week, each month, each year, taking those steps and actions internally and externally that feel good to you, that feel like they're aligned with where you want to be, that feel like they bring you just a little bit closer to where you want to be, not necessarily logically, but very much energetically. So this becomes a matter of embodiment. That's a lot of what this card is about, is embodying the version of you, becoming the version of you who has the wealth you desire before it shows up. That's how you're going to get there. And in doing that, you're going to transform. I'm getting that in 2 years' time. You are going to transform so wildly and so dramatically in the next 2 years, deck one, that you will look back on this moment. You'll think about either this reading or this period of your life, this chapter of life you're in, and you will feel like you don't even recognize that version of you. You will look back and say, wow, I am a completely different version of me now. This could be some outward change. It could be even, I could sense like you moving somewhere, having a big move, doing something differently, but it's more going to be an inner transformation. That's like the big thing that I'm getting right now from the universe is you're going to have just this massive inner transformation that you change so profoundly on a personal level and on a way that you relate to and think about money and life and the universe. Even I could see some sort of big spiritual awakening coming for you probably within the next year is what I'm seeing. That's going to really kind of launch you even further into this abundance you're going to be stepping into in 2 years. So I'm seeing so much transformation for you, and it's so exciting. It's so positive. It feels like for some of you that I get the sense that some of you have been kind of feeling like you've been plateaued or stuck. And it's like the universe is like, you haven't been, you've just been being prepared, or you've been preparing or working through things or clearing things that needed to be cleared or let go of or healed in order for you to now be able to really take off. So like I'm seeing everything you want is coming for you in 2 years. And part of that is like, oh yeah, of course she's going to say that because this is a reading. It's like, no, this isn't going to be every reading. This card is your card. This is the card that came out for you first when I asked the universe to go on what your financial future looks like. Looks like the wealthy woman. The name and essence and energy of this whole deck I created. No wonder I was guided to grab this one first. So this is really exciting. I want to see what else. What else does deck two's... Oh my goodness. Deck one's, of course, beautiful cards. Deck one's financial future look like in 2 years from now. Like I said, eon of excess. So there's just this overflow, more than enough, right? More than enough, bounty, plenty, excess, right? You're in a new chapter of life. Like it looks, like I said, completely different from where you are now. What's really interesting, like of course, beautiful confirmation. I always love to see the eon of excess card when we're doing these future readings for abundance. However, what I'm really loving is this champion card for you. Deck one. So the champion card talks about wealth for the highest good of all. So this is what's like, it is making my heart feel so full. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting this sensation in my heart of just this immense fullness and fulfillment in your life. So, deck one, not only are you you're currently on track. Wherever you are is perfect. This is all part of the plan, part of the path to what you want 2 years out from now. Like you are currently on track. And it's not only that you'll get everything you desire and more, it's that the way you're going to get it is going to be not only personally fulfilling for you, but it is going to uplift, I'm getting hundreds of thousands of others. Now, here's the thing. When I say you're going to uplift hundreds of thousands of others, for some of you, I can see that this is going to be directly like what you do. You're going to build some sort of empire. You're going to contribute to some sort of movement and get highly compensated for it. That's going to directly help hundreds of thousands of people. For others of you, this could be that you do something that has a ripple effect. It helps one person who then goes on to help 20,000 people, and those people end up helping hundreds of thousands of people, right? Like there's some sort of ripple effect for a lot of you. But some of you, it will be a direct impact that you have on hundreds of thousands of people. And the universe is saying, for some of you, not all of you, but for some of you, 2 years out, that's just the tip of the iceberg of the impact that you are going to have. And so something important that the universe is really trying to communicate with you here, that I'm being guided to share with you, is that the two big doubts that are coming up, the two big things that could throw you off track from this future the most easily, are you believing, just thinking, I'm not on track, I have to be or do something more. It's like, no, you are on track. And the minute you decide and accept that you are on track, then you are. Deck 1, specifically you, and this opens up to you and you stay aligned with it. And then also believing like, it can't be this easy, right? Like it can't be this easy. I'm not on track. It cannot be this easy. It's easy because you're born for this, okay? One other block that's coming through for you, one other pitfall to watch out for, is believing that you having the wealth you desire, you getting everything you want and more, double what you expect or want in 2 years' time from now. That idea might kick up some beliefs of worthiness in terms of, if I have that much money, I'm taking it from someone else who needs it, or, that's going to make me a bad person, or it makes me greedy or whatever. Something about having more money than you're dreaming of might trigger, for a lot of you, a kind of sense of, this is bad. It's not good for me on a moral level in some way to have the wealth I desire and I dream of. The universe is saying, with this card specifically, that is absolutely not the case. You having more abundance and more success, maybe even more visibility in your career, whatever it is, but having more abundance, having more wealth is so important, because you being wealthy is going to allow you to help more people. It could be that having your wealth and the way you attain it through helping people might inspire others and help others heal that kind of wound a lot of us have around believing that you can't have a lot of money and be a good person, or if you're really helping people, you can't be making a lot of money. You might be someone who disproves that. But also, it could just be that you having more money means you have more resources, meaning you can donate money to causes that matter to you. Maybe it means you have funds to start some sort of movement or contribute to something that helps hundreds of thousands of people. For some reason, I'm getting stuff with, not for all of you, this is for some of you. Some of you might help with the homeless crisis in America. Some of you might help with world hunger. Like there's very humanitarian energy coming through. And again, not for all. Some of you, it might be that some of you create, and this is not to say this is not valuable to the collective, because it will be clearly, but maybe you create some sort of software that just revolutionizes parts of the world or a niche of people, right? And makes a huge change in their lives. Or maybe you're a part of that team that works on it and you're highly compensated for it, right? So whatever it is, there's different ways, especially since this is a collective reading, there's different ways that can play out. But if you're watching this deck one, it means that you truly are here to and capable of and on track to make such a positive impact with the wealth that you manifest, that you achieve and receive in the next 2 years' time. And that's really beautiful. And again, I'm getting tip of the iceberg, okay? Like that's just the beginning of it for some of you. This isn't the end, this is the beginning of this like insane rise in wealth, in influence, in impact, in excess, in abundance, in success, in truly helping others. So really, really beautiful. We're going to pull now from the deck you originally picked. See what other guidance the universe has. I want to know how you got here. I want to know more about how you get here. All right? Act as if. I cannot make it up, you guys. Act as if You got here by embodying that next level version. You got here by embodying, I'm gonna put this over here so you can see this wealthy woman card. You got there by embodying the wealthiest version of you. But yeah, you got here in the future, 2 years time out. You got here by acting as if. What was I just saying a few minutes ago? Acting as if. Thinking, feeling, acting like the version of you who has all that wealth you desire. That's the secret sauce for you. This doesn't mean you don't take any action, because part of that is acting, right? Like acting. Now, whenever I say act as if, people often misinterpret it and say, I can't act as if because if I had $1 million in the bank, maybe that's how much you want to have in the bank in 2 years' time. If I had $1 million, $2 million in the bank, I would be able to move out of my house or my apartment, and I can't do that right now, so I can't act as if. And it's like, no. From where you are right now, if you take the thoughts, if you start thinking the thoughts, aligning your thoughts with the thoughts of the version of you who has the wealth you desire. Like, I can do this, I'm amazing, I'm successful, all these things around self-concept. Money comes easily to me. Money comes easily to me. I make money everywhere I go. Money, when I have more money, it helps more people, right? Like, assuming thoughts like that, when you start thinking those thoughts and looking for evidence of those thoughts, you will start to feel different. You'll be in a different energy. You'll vibrate at a different frequency. You'll be more of an energetic match for the wealth you desire. You'll be embodying the energy of the wealth you desire, of having all that wealth before it shows up. And then from there, you're going to naturally feel inclined to take certain actions. And it's just letting yourself take those actions. And that's how you close that gap. That's how you, in a way, quantum leap, which is, by the way, what we're doing inside the Wealth by membership. If you're watching this anytime around the time it posts, this month, March 2024, we're currently in the middle of a challenge that you can jump into if you want to join us, around preparing to successfully quantum leap. And part of what we're doing that is learning how to get clear on and hold the vision of what we desire. And then we're actually going to be quantum leaping and embodying that wealth that we desire in our April challenge. So if you want to come join me in closing that gap, the link for the Wealth by membership is in the description, pinned comment below. But truly, this is what it's going to take for you. And I know that sounds so simple, but this is how you're going to get to where you want to be financially. Deck 1 is by acting as if you are on track. You have gotten onto the right track. Now it's just time to stay there by embodying your wealthiest self. And not by just looking around and going, well, I'm not there yet, so therefore I'm not doing enough and I'm not enough and all that. That's BS. You're already enough. You've got everything in place. Everything's falling into place. You have to let yourself act as if. You have to let yourself align with it. All right? A rebirth is assured. Bat Spirit. I don't think I've ever pulled this card from this deck, and I use this deck a lot. A rebirth is assured. What I say, you're going to go through such a massive transformation, you're not even going to recognize who you are anymore. Deck 1. You're not even going to recognize who you are anymore. You're a rebirth. A total transformation is assured. As long as you're acting as if, you will transform, and then therefore your financial reality around you transforms. Okay? And again, if you have trouble acting as if, that's what the Wealth Vibe membership is for. Come join me there. All right, let's see. I want to see if there's any advice. Oh my goodness. Let me shuffle these. Ooh, we're going to take these ones that fell face up on the floor for you. Set these aside for now. All right, let's look here first. Any other advice? I wanted to see what else you can get. Expect advice around. Look beyond the surface we have here. Unfurl a new beginning. Again, you guys. Gather your nuts. So, the universe is saying, first of all, right, like unfurl a new beginning. It's just more confirmation. A rebirth is assured. Unfurl a new beginning. I'm saying you're going to transform into this wealthiest version of you. We know what that means, right? We also, and this is also 8 is really jumping out at me here, which is our, our number of abundance. And this is an 8 year if you're watching this when it's recorded. If not, that's okay. This reading still applies. Now, what I'm seeing with these cards here is really practical guidance for you, which is exciting. So in order for you to start thinking and feeling and acting as if, the universe is saying, gather your nuts, get organized, get prepared. So when we're talking about getting prepared, in this sense of acting as if, it means go deep, dig down deep in yourself, take some time. I'm getting the guidance to encourage you to set aside an hour today or tomorrow or as soon as you can in the next few days while this reading is still fresh in your mind. Sit down and have a little journaling session or make a bullet point list or something, but write it down. I'm getting this guidance to write it down. Write down, what do you truly want to manifest in terms of wealth or success or career in the next 2 years? What's your dream? And see if you can even dream bigger. And then once you've gotten clear on exactly what it is you're manifesting in terms of your finances and your money, dig down deep and really get to know that next level version of you, that version of you who has the wealth you desire, this wealthiest version of you, the version of you who exists 2 years out from now, who already has this wealth. What thoughts do they think regularly? How do they feel? What's their energy like most of the time? Do they have any habits or actions they're doing that you could start doing now? What are the thoughts, feelings, and actions that you could take from the future, bring them into the now, and start inhabiting them, start letting them sink into you, start thinking them, saturating your mind with them, affirming, visualizing, whatever it is that works for you, whatever modality, right? But get clear on that. And then start actually aligning with that more and more and more and more. So that's some really beautiful practical guidance for you. All right, I want to get some last cards, see if there's any other guidance. We already kind of had, I was going to maybe do some pitfalls, but any last guidance for you or anything that Decanate 1 needs to look out for. Oh my gosh, you guys. Metamorphosis. This is you're completely going to change. You are going to look so different. Life is going to look so different for you in 2 years. I can't even, how many cards is that about transformation plus the initial channeled guidance for it? Embrace transformation. Things are different now. Believe that things get to start being different from here on out. Okay? Things get to start being different now for you. You're already on track, so things get to start shifting now. You get to see signs of them shifting. You get to start to see more money trickle in or new opportunities present themselves for more money to come in. All right? So start looking, you were saying, start looking for evidence that things are now different. They're different now. And allow yourself to change. If there are any places where you've been holding on to a past way of being or clinging to old patterns that you know, once you've done this journaling exercise, are not aligned with that next level of yourself 2 years from now who has double the wealth you desire, if there are any thoughts, feelings, actions, energies that you hold on to, habits you have, people around you even, ooh, that's a little harsh, but people around you who do not fit in with that because you know these are things that are keeping you from it, it is time to evaluate those things, to shift those things, to allow yourself to change, to up your standards, raise your boundaries, right? Follow the stream, dedication, trust, future, rivers and oceans. The universe is saying there's gonna there's a level of surrender required for you to allow this to happen, right? And I just saw on the bottom as I was putting this way, I don't always look at let it go, release the past, forgive, soften, move forward, surrender, right? Follow the stream. So there's this trust, this belief that you are on the right path, you're on the right stream. Keep going, keep going, keep going. You're exactly where you need to be. Does this mean you never shift your career or what you're doing, or you cling to things that clearly aren't working or don't feel aligned anymore because you heard this reading and I said you're on the right track? No, it just means right now you're in the right place at the right time. You are exactly where you need to be to get to where you want to go. There might be 20 different pivots and shifts, 5 different jobs you work in the next 2 years. Who knows? Again, the path to the money you desire, for you, Deck 1, like we said, and for most people, it's unpredictable. So there has to be a level of trust that you are exactly where you need to be, that this is all part of the path, that you are following the right stream and you just surrender to it and keep using your inner guidance to navigate what feels right, what feels like it's aligned with that next level version of you, that future version of you, each day, each moment. Keep using that to navigate. This is your North Star, is that clear version you're going to get when you sit down and journal of what is life going to look like when I have all the wealth I desire, even double the wealth I desire. What does that version of me think, feel, act? How do I embody that? What choices, whenever you have choices, what choice feels more aligned with that and feels right to me? That's how you keep nudging in that direction. Again, if you need support with that, that's what we do inside the Wealth Vibe membership. So, Deck 1, this is so incredibly exciting. I am so excited for you. I did not expect that the first card for the first pile I did this reading for would just be, yep, everything you want. Here you go. It's available to you, and your life is going to look so incredibly different in the best way possible, in a better than you could have dreamed. 2 years from now if you stay on track, if you stay in alignment with all we discussed here. So there you go, deck 1. That is your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and comment below letting me know what you took from this reading and how it resonated. I always very much appreciate your comments on these readings. It truly helps me to have ideas for future readings. Also just gives me that feedback, that encouragement, that motivation, that inspiration that I just love. And I just love getting to connect with you on these readings. So definitely comment below if you feel called to. You are also welcome, if you haven't already, to subscribe to my channel for future card readings for abundance. And of course, if you want to come join me inside of the Wealth Vibe membership, you can get access to all of the resources, support, and community you need to take those actions that are going to help you stay aligned, that is going to help you stay embodied, all the resources for what we've talked about here and more so that you can manifest the wealth you desire. I would love to get to connect with you there in the Wealth Vibe membership if it calls to you. So the link for that and the link to pre-order the best deck, in my opinion, for doing abundance readings like this and others, the Wealthy Woman Oracle deck, that pre-order link is below as well with the Wealth Vibe membership link. So yeah, check out the description and the pinned comments for those. With all that being said, I'm wishing you massive prosperity and abundance, an amazing transformation over the next 2 years for you, Deck 1, and I'll see you in another video very soon. Bye. Hello, deck number 2. This is your reading to uncover what your finances will look like 2 years from right now. We may also be chatting about your career as well. We'll see what comes up. Now, a really important note here for this reading in particular is that I am reading for what you are currently on track for. So this means that you can change your trajectory and therefore your future at any time between now and 2 years from now. So this is really important to understand that you can, at any point, if you don't like what comes up in the cards, or you want more, or you want to make sure you stay on track with it, it all comes down to your thoughts, your feelings, your energy, your actions, right? Like anytime you change any of those things, it has a ripple effect across other things, which has a ripple effect across your life. Every little choice you make creates a different option for you, a different reality. So just know that you are always capable of adjusting your reality, of shifting anytime, right? What I'm seeing here is not set in stone. It's just what you're currently on track for. So if you want support in more intentionally shaping your future financial reality, or just staying on track and aligned with whatever we uncover here in this reading, you are welcome to come join me in the Wealth Vibe membership, because that's what we do in there. I created this membership to be this place for you to get all sorts of resources you need, like monthly challenges, book club, reads, exclusive readings, card readings, right? Exclusive meditations, resources, and our high vibe, like-minded community, because there's just so much I want to give you to help you understand how you can learn to take your inner power and translate it into outer abundance. So that's what we do inside the Wealth Vibe membership. That's what I have to offer you if you want more support beyond this reading, to help you really align with what you want your financial reality to look like and stay on track for that, to create it in your life. So if you feel called to join, you are welcome to check that out. I would love to get to connect with you in the membership. It's very low cost and you can cancel at any time. So the link is in the description and pinned comment below for that. So with all that being said, let's move your crystal out of the way. We're going to start shuffling and dive right in to shed some light on what your finances look like in 2 years. So what do Deck 2's finances or money look like in 2 years? Deck 2's financial situation in 2 years. Rebirth. Oh my goodness. If you were drawn to Deck 1, go watch Deck 1 after this. That's all I'll say. There was so much talk about Rebirth. It was literally the only card in this deck that I created that literally says the word rebirth here. Yeah, just okay. If you were drawn to it. If not, you don't need to watch it, right? That's not necessary. But the synchronicities and and connections today, not just in this reading but in everything, have been off the charts. Like I love doing readings in the state that I'm in right now energetically. I'm incredibly tapped in, more so than usual. And Rebirth, prosperous overflow. We love to see it. I'm gonna just take this next card, Fortress Protection. Ooh, perfect. Okay, so Deck 2. good news and bad news for you, right? Like mostly good news, like 90% good news. And the bad news is not really bad. It's just some heavier things we need to kind of overturn. So here's what I'm seeing for you, your financial reality 2 years out from now. What you're currently on track for. You're on track for a massive transformation. Again, there might be some crossover from deck 1 with this, so you can go watch that if you feel called to. I just saw 111 for you, so some nice confirmation. You are going to undergo some reinvention of yourself, some big transformation. Your financial reality is going to look very different from how it is now in a very positive way, because we have this prosperous overflow card here in this position specifically with the spread I'm doing today. So you're even when we see like the actual images in the story they're telling us, you are walking into an era of abundance. You're walking into more than enough. You're walking into prosperous overflow. There's a lot of similarities here, like I said, with deck 1. But what's different from deck 1 is that where you are maybe right now, what you need to do in order to have this rebirth, to have your complete reality transform around money and get to where you want to be, to have things look very different in a positive way 2 years from now, is there's going to need to be some inner and outer healing that I'm getting. When I say inner outer healing, could be physical. I mean more things that you heal with, like your relationships with people, your boundaries, your habits, things like that. But we'll get into that in a second. What I want to focus on first here is that, like I said, good news. Oh my gosh, 222. There's so much alignment for you today. The thing to keep in mind here is that everything looks great. You are on track. You're in a position right now, as you're listening to this, you're exactly where you need to be in order to step into an upgraded financial reality. You might be stepping into like everything you want. You're at the very least going to be stepping into more than enough, more than what you need, right? More abundance than you currently have, an overflow, right? That's what you're stepping into in the next 2 years. And I just saw 444. Oh my goodness, you guys. You're very aligned with that, right? You're very aligned with that. However, this is the bad news, right? When I talked about that inner and outer healing that needs to happen with our Fortress of Protection card, this means that there's something that's just, it's blocking you from initiating this rebirth, from being able to transform your financial reality, your money, your career, your success. There's something that's blocking you from doing that. And the thing that's blocking you from doing it is I'm seeing 2 different types of things that are coming up. And for most of you, it'll be both that need your attention, right? In order to allow you to undergo this transformation and step into more abundance. The first thing that you want to be looking at, that the universe is guiding me to share with you, is to look at what stories around money do you have that once served you, that maybe helped you get to where you are now financially, but are actually now holding you back from where you want to go financially. Okay, so that's the big thing. The universe is saying after this video, this is something to really sit with. Take some time to reflect on this. If you see a therapist, I'm getting like chat with them about these things. Or if you feel like you need to go find, a licensed mental health professional to help you with that, great, do that. Otherwise, really just sitting and inwardly reflecting on what stories do I have in mind. Like, for example, if you have the story of, I never lend money to people because people just take advantage of you, right? Stories like, it's not safe to lend money to people. You get taken advantage of. People always take advantage of you with money. People are out for themselves, right? Like, if you have a story like that, maybe that helped you get to where you are, because maybe for a while you were surrounded by people who would have taken advantage of you. Or maybe you did get taken advantage of and you put that rule in place to keep yourself from falling down that pitfall again, right? So I'm getting that whatever blockage there is, it served you at one point. So it's not like this terrible thing. It makes sense why you have this block or story that's keeping you from being able to shift. But the truth is you've outgrown it, right? You've outgrown it, and you need to start to release that story or shift that story or change it, transmute it, so that you can actually begin this kind of transformation, this rebirth into this overflow of abundance. Okay? So that's the main thing for you to really think about inwardly. That's going to naturally change a lot of your habits. When you start to unearth what that story is and then begin to shift it, that's going to you're naturally going to start to change your actions. Things will change outwardly, but also the universe is saying there will be a little bit of a need of conscious attention toward boundaries with other people, right? Especially around, it could be boundaries with money, with maybe, being more firm with your expectations of when people are going to pay you back if you lend money to them, or what you expect to be compensated with, or asking for that raise at work or anything like that. Like there's more of you standing in your power with others around money that needs to happen in order for you to truly transform your financial reality. But again, a lot of that's going to come from healing these inner stories, right? That you've outgrown around money, that helped you get to where you were, that once kept you safe, but now are keeping you stuck. So that's the big thing. But this is, like I said, like 90% good news. And honestly, even the 10% bad news is not really bad news. It's just not, it just means like there's a little bit of work to be done, right, on your part, on that inner and outer level. This could also, I am getting that this could for some of you be more work-life balance and having better boundaries with yourself, and not overworking or like underworking and self-sabotaging by not going after what you want, right? Like there could be like, because I could also see you having potentially some sort of story of, as an example, whenever I work really hard, it doesn't work out. And so I'm just not going to try. And then I don't have to feel like I failed. And that might have kept you safe and mentally healthy for a while, but now it's keeping you small and keeping you from evolving and getting to that next level of abundance. So there could be things like that, right? So there could be some boundaries with yourself, some kind of tough love you got to give yourself, honesty you got to look at your inner world and your money mindset with. But for the most part, this is going to be boundaries with other people. But it all comes back to, what are the stories those all stem from? Those are things that need your attention first that you really want to look at and heal. And honestly, you could do that you could start that examination now. You could start that today, right after this reading. You could start it tomorrow, right? It's whenever you choose. And then this rebirth gets to take place. And then I'm getting that from 2 years out from that rebirth. You can expect to just be in a completely reborn, different financial reality, right? So that's very exciting. But there's just a little bit of work there to be done. Again, if you need support with identifying, shifting those stories, and staying in that space and making that transformation, come join me in the Wealthified membership, because a lot of what we do there facilitates that, right? And it's helpful to be around people and in a like-minded community of people doing that inner work and transforming their habits and their thoughts and energy and actions around money and their stories around money specifically, right? Like that, being around that and having that support and that camaraderie, it's invaluable, right? Because most people aren't doing that work around money, and you are kind of like the product of the people you're around the most, right? So if you want to come join me in there, I'd love to get to support you with that. So would the community, but it's all up to you. We have Coyote Spirit, trust in divine detours. I want to see any other guidance for deck 2. You see clearly now. So again, this overall tells me the story of transformation, right? If you feel like you're like, there's no way that in 2 years I could have more than enough or more than I'm hoping for, or I could be in a completely different financial reality. I don't even know how that's going to happen. The universe is saying, like there's been a lot of detours in your life. It's fair that you think that. And maybe that's also, maybe you're not getting your hopes up because you have this rule of don't get your hopes up around money, so that you're not disappointed. And again, maybe that's kept you safe for a while, but now it's keeping you small and stuck. That might be something that needs to go. But the universe is saying, look at any roadblocks, anything that up until now or from now looks like you're off track from getting what you want. Shift your perspective to look at those things as divine detours. This is where the mantra of everything is always working out for me really comes in handy. Or the mantra of this or something better, this or something better. So those are some affirmations, some mantras, some beliefs you can install within yourself to help you start to see things more as a divine detour and less as a roadblock, less as a sign that you're not on track for what you desire. We also have with our owl spirit card here, you see clearly now. You're going to look back 2 years from now, you're going to be like, oh, I see how it was all working out for me. I see now. So it's a little bit of just, that kind of trust, right? Trust in divine detours, trusting that the universe is going to nudge you to where you need to be. As long as you're willing to get out of your own way, then the universe can kind of do the rest. Divine forces can do the rest, but you're not going to, it's going to make sense once you get there. I get the sense that a lot of you have been asking this question to yourselves and maybe the universe or to yourself or others of why is it like this? This is not fair. Why me? Why do these things happen to me? And you're saying this in like a negative sense. I get the sense that in about 2 years' time, you're going to be looking back and be like, wow, why do these things happen to me in a good sense? Right? And you're going to understand the duality of things. You're going to understand why you maybe had to go through the shadows or the dark for a little bit. Maybe you're going to understand why things felt hard, especially around money or career, but maybe about relationships or things that impacted your finances or your job, right? Like you're going to understand why you were redirected. It's all going to make so much more sense 2 years from now, but you just got to get there. And it's kind of maddening to say, oh, just trust. But at some point you kind of be like, well, what else am I going to do, right? What else am I going to do if I don't trust? It'll drive you insane and you'll just stay exactly where you are, right? So I want to get some guidance on how to deck to get to this. How do they get, aside from clearing these blocks, like what do you need to do to get to that abundance, right? What do you need to do to get to that overflow, to this rebirth, this totally different financial rebirth? Yeah, okay. Fail abundantly, right? And we have abundance right there. Fail abundantly. Again, because this is with our Divine Detours card and our Fortress of Protection. This path that you're on for the next 2 years, like it at times will feel rocky. It at times will feel like you're failing. And you're not. I'm just saying, in every failure, like let's say you get a job and you're like, this is the thing that's going to make me the money. I'm so sure this is the rebirth. This is the start of the new chapter. I heard in that reading from Taylor. And you might feel so set on it. And then, not always, but sometimes over the next years, you might kind of get the rug pulled out from under you. Like maybe that you lose that job or the company shuts down 2 weeks later. You know, it just doesn't, it's not the job you thought it was, or it doesn't pan out how you thought it would, right? Like, there will be things that you feel like you failed at or that failed for you. But the universe is saying, if you're willing to, in every failure, in every situation that doesn't feel like it's leading to your rebirth, to your transformation, you get to, there's going to be something for you to learn there or some opportunity there that's going to help you pivot and get closer and closer and closer to this completely transformed reality, to the wealth you desire 2 years down the road. And the universe said, so it's like, so here with this always settle for more card, it's like fail abundantly. See the lessons, the wisdom, the growth that you undergo if you allow yourself to in those failures. And don't make yourself wrong. Don't be like, oh my God, it's not working. Oh my gosh, the money's not coming. Oh my God, I'm screwing something up everywhere I go. It's chaos or it's difficult, or like, don't start to tell that story, or don't continue to tell that story if that's one you're already telling. Always settle for more. Again, the mantra keeps coming up of, it's this or something better. It's this or something better. This is happening for me, not to me. It's happening for me. I'm always being redirected, repositioned, nudged in the right direction. The universe is saying your failures are divine interventions. Your failures are also divine, period. They are divine. There's so much wisdom to be learned from them. Deck 2, there's so much opportunity to be found in them. So do not make yourself wrong for failing. Instead, embrace the failures, the things that don't go how you wanted or thought they should. And keep being willing to look for, stretch yourself to say, how could this be happening for me? Or just trust that this is happening for me. With that mentality, you are unstoppable. You keep getting back up. When you get knocked down, you don't stop, which is the only way to fail is to not try. The only way to fail is to quit. So start seeing anything that goes awry, that goes off the path of what you thought things were going to look like or should look like to get to this prosperous overflow, this more than enough reality 2 years from now. Start to embrace all of the failures along the way. There's going to be, for some of you, there'll be a lot. For some of you, there'll just be 1 or 2 notable ones. But like the universe is saying, when you see those failures, if you can get excited about them, like that's almost a sign that you're on the right track. Because if you're never failing, and this is something that is, I'm channeling this guidance, but I'm also going to add my own personal endorsement of this specific guidance. I mean, I endorse more or less everything I say here, but this guidance is coming through. I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. In almost 6 years of doing this work of helping people shift their money mindset and create the financial realities they desire, what I have found is that the people who get excited about the failures, the people who see the failures as places where they're being shown their edges or being redirected to something better, those are the people who end up on top of the world, right? Like they're at one moment they're the underdog, and then all of a sudden they're the top dog, and that's what you're headed for. Deck 2, but there has to be this embracing, this excitement, this joyfulness, this almost playfulness about life, about money, about failure. There has to, like, when you can tap into that, that's going to lead to such a rebirth. I get the sense that right now there's that part of you that is still afraid to fail in some way, right? You're afraid to fail in some way. Maybe it's you're afraid of running out of money or going bankrupt, right? Which are fair. You get to plan for those things and try to avoid those things. This isn't saying like, oh yeah, just drive yourself to financial ruin in order to get to where you want to be. That's not at all what I'm saying, but it's natural to fear things, but don't fear redirection. Don't fear things that you think are going to be so bad. Even if you feel the fear, challenge yourself to find at least a little spark of more, of hope, of how this could be working for you, right? That makes such the difference in the world. Most people are going around feeling incredibly disempowered, and like life and money and economy and work is against them. And what I can tell you is that it's not. Money really doesn't care energetically, right? It wants to flow to where it's a match for, as does everything. So the world is not against you. And these failures are showing you your edges. They're showing you where you can grow. They're showing you opportunities. They're revealing things to you, okay, on your path. So again, I don't want you to get the sense that this is going to be like a terrible 2 years and then you'll end up with more than enough money. That's not the case. The universe is saying overall this is very positive. It's a very positive reading and trajectory you're on. But there's going to be some hiccups, some bumps. That's also life, right? But the universe is just giving you the mindsets and the tools and the nudges to release things here in order to help you get to this transformation the most smoothly you can without keeping yourself stuck, right? Any last guidance for deck 2? Lady of the Lake, new beginnings. Something is about to happen. So I'm getting that this is all going to start pretty soon here. Again, I think it's going to be as soon as you identify these thoughts, then all of this gets to start, which as soon as you identify the stories you're holding on to that once served you, that no longer serve you, especially around money or work or anything related to that, everything takes off, right? So get ready, because it's time to go for it. It'll be time to dive in. Don't hold back, okay? The universe is saying, give it your all. Don't hold back because you're afraid of failing. Don't hold back because you have old stories keeping you small. Go full out. Like this next chapter, these next 2 years, so much payoff and so much personal transformation if you go full in with it. Like don't just kind of play small and hope that this works out. Decide that in 2 years you're going to be somewhere completely different. And if you can hold that belief and you can stick to it for 2 years, can you imagine where you'll be if you don't hold back? If you don't keep yourself small? If you believe that you're at the start right now at the end of this reading of a new beginning of this era of prosperous overflow, of rebirth, of transformation, if you can fully believe that for 2 years, can you imagine how different you'll act? How different your life will look 2 years from now? What amazing adventures you'll be led on and transformations you will see within yourself? You won't even be able to put words to it, deck 2. It's going to be so incredibly powerful, so beautiful, truly. So, wow, deck 2. It's really exciting. And it's, personally, I love a good challenge, right? Like I'm someone who, if I don't have a challenge, I feel like I'm not growing. So I want a challenge. Something we said for being able to sit with where you are and be good with where you are. But you've got some challenges ahead, but they're divinely laid in front of you. And you are so capable of rising to them. And even if you fail or things don't go as planned, you're still going to come out ahead as long as you decide to keep moving in that direction and to always be reaching for more and be pushing yourself to transform these old stories that keep you stuck so that you can really fully plunge into the abundance you desire and go full out, right? Go full out. Don't hold back. Wow. The universe is saying one last thing. This life is short. Don't hold back. Go all in. Live all out. This is the one life you have. And even if you believe in past lives, this is the one life you have as you. Don't waste it. Go all out. Go full out. Give it your all and see where it takes you, because it's going to be phenomenal. All right, deck 2, I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and comment below, letting me know what you took from this reading. Let me know how it resonated. I love getting to hear your thoughts on these readings. They really mean so much to me. Thank you to everyone who comments and engages with these videos. It not only helps me out in the algorithm, but it also just makes me feel more connected to you, gives me inspiration and motivation to keep doing these readings. So I just truly appreciate all the comments, the support, the connection in the comments below. So be sure to leave some there if you feel called to. You are also welcome, if you're not already, to subscribe to this channel for future card readings for abundance. And of course, if you want to come join me inside of the Wealth Vibe membership so you can get access to all the resources, support, and community you need to overcome these obstacles, to release these stories, to manifest this amazing reality that you're plunging into in the next 2 years, then I would love to get to connect with you there. The link for that, for the Wealth Vibe membership, and the link to pre-order the Wealthy Woman Oracle deck, which is just honestly the best deck out there, in my not so humble opinion, for doing abundance readings. Both those links are in the description and the pinned comment below. So with all that being said, I'm wishing you massive transformation, massive growth, and abundance and prosperity, and I'll see you in another video very soon. Bye. Hello, deck number 3. This is your reading to uncover what your finances will look like 2 years from now. We might also chat about your career as well. We will see what comes up in the reading. But as we dive in, I want to make a really important note here that for this reading in particular, that what I'm reading here is for what you are currently on track for. So right now, where you are right now listening to this message is what financial reality are you currently aligned with 2 years from now? And I say this because I want you to understand that you can change your trajectory and therefore your future at any time between now and 2 years from now, right? Like it all comes down to the thoughts you think, the energy you're in, and the actions you take. If you make changes to those things, significant changes, at any time you can shift into any sort of infinite possible outcome for your financial reality in 2 years, okay? So what we're reading here today is what you are on track for at this moment. Now, if you want more support in intentionally shaping your future financial reality, or just staying on track and aligned with the one that we uncover here in this reading together, then you are absolutely welcome to come join me inside of the Wealth Vibe membership, because that is what we do there with our monthly challenges, our book club, our exclusive card readings for abundance, our meditations, our exclusive resources, and our high vibe like-minded community. I truly created this as a low-cost, flexible space for you to help you learn to take your inner power and translate it into outer abundance. So if you feel called to join the Wealth Vibe membership, I would love to get to connect with you in there. This is my favorite place on the internet to hang out. The link for that is in the description and the pinned comment below. So with all of that being said, we're going to dive into your reading. We're going to put your deck aside for a moment. We are going to pull from this a little bit later in this reading, but what I've been finding with these readings so far is that for this video in particular, I am starting with the Wealthy Woman Oracle deck, because if we want to look into your future about abundance, there's no better deck to do it than this deck, because I designed this deck because there aren't a lot of decks out there around helping you do abundance readings. So that's what we're going to start with to get clarity on what your financial reality looks like 2 years from now. And then we'll incorporate our other decks from there to get more guidance. So what does deck 3's money or financial situation look like 2 years from now? What are they aligned with right now to create in 2 years' time? What are they manifesting for deck 3? Let's see what cards we have. Ooh, we have abundant expansion. We love to see it. We have the Observer card. This one's been coming up a lot lately on this channel. If you're seeing this for the second or third time very recently, there is a very clear message for you here that we'll get to. And then we have our Wealth Wounds card. Okay, so deck 3, here's what I'm seeing. You are on track and I'm already getting that like you are already experiencing some rapid change in your life. Could be on an internal level, could be on an external level, could be already reflected in your finances for better or worse, right? But this is going to be these next 2 years, especially where you'll end up 2 years from now, are going to be a period of rapid transformation. And what's really interesting here is that it could be that things are going to be really good, or it could be that things are going to stay kind of the same or feel a little bit less stable. And I don't want you to get scared and be like, oh my God, I picked the pile where it's not the positive reading. It's not true. I do see a lot of positivity here. But it's going to, your reality, of course, like I just said, is shaped by your outlook on things and things like that. But there's two really clear paths that you're kind of standing at a crossroads of right now, right? Like we have two cards, very similar in poses too. When we look at the women in them, we have two women mirrored here, right? Like splitting it. You have two paths that you're at this crossroads of because you've been going through a lot of transformation lately. Could be, like I said, internal or external or both. Been going through a lot of transformation. You're at this crossroads where how you choose to move forward is going to lead you down two very different paths, right? So you have the choice in this moment to choose to look at the negative side of things. Look at the things that have happened to you so far and where you are, and create stories around that, or continue to tell stories around that keep you feeling stuck but maybe justified, right? Or you have the choice to look for the wealth you desire. Now, these cards, right, what I'm reading them as in their placement and with the spread, is you have the choice to lean into pessimism or positivity, optimism, right? Which one do you want to lean into? It sounds so simple, but that's going to completely shift the trajectory in really major ways to what abundance you're calling in. Why I say that, right? Because that's not actually what these cards, this isn't inherently a negative card. This isn't inherently a positive card in the deck when I was writing these cards. What is coming up is just, where's your focus going, right? In the next 2 years from right now, where's your focus going in this moment? Is it going, even as I say this, are you like, oh, this is going to be a negative reading? Or, oh, let me see what I can learn from this reading. Let me see what I can shift from this reading. Or let me see what I can take from it that's going to help me expand into the abundance I want, right? That's a really good indicator right there of which way are you leaning. But there's going to be, I'm getting over the next years, a lot of opportunities where things are going to have a lot of duality for you. A lot of good and light. I mean, most things do in life, really. Most things, depending on how we look at them or use them, can either be used to help us and expand into what we want, or to hinder us and expand into what we don't want, right? So this isn't necessarily a really new thing, but for you, it's just going to be a time of heightened, because there's so much growth and you're quickly growing. There's opportunities. There's a lot of new things coming up where you're going to have these choices over and over. And I'm getting that you're currently facing one right now, whether you're conscious of it or not, where you can be choosing to look at things and expecting the worst, or feeling like life's unfair, or like your finances aren't going to get any better, and that the world is against you, or your boss is against you, or the algorithm's against you in your online business, right? Like, you can choose to focus on those things, or you can choose to focus and look at the good, to look at, okay, what is this opportunity showing me? If I feel like my boss is against me, is this a nudge to go find a better, more aligned job, or is this a nudge for me to grow internally and to rise above, or to even go above and beyond and show them, or show the person above my boss what I'm capable of, right? Like, is this an opportunity to stretch myself? Is this an opportunity to grow, right? So every situation that you have in front of you right now, and that you will continue to have these big situations and big, maybe challenges, maybe just opportunities, but big situations, especially around money and in your career, if you have one, where you're going to be, the next 2 years are like a period of you kind of like looking back and forth, which way do I want to look? Which way do I want to go? Don't get me wrong. Sometimes it helps to look at the negative, because we can uncover the wounds, the things that draw us to the negative, and bring them to the light and heal them, right? So sometimes you will want to look at, you'll kind of listen to yourself, be like, okay, I can pick. Do I want to be more optimistic about this? Do I want to be more pessimistic? If you find yourself wanting to be pessimistic, ask yourself why. Why? What story or wound or or belief do I have that makes me want to go there? How can I transmute that? Why is that coming up and asking to be healed right now, right? So it's not to say that we always ignore and bypass the tougher things or the darker, kind of shadow parts of ourselves. It's not to say any of that. There are times when that's incredibly helpful for us and can lead us to more abundance. But overall, where you're going to end up 2 years from now is going to really depend on, are you willing to acknowledge and heal and let go of or clear the negative so that you can look at the positive and look for the opportunities for growth and expect them, right? So, and again, if you've been seeing this card pop up a lot, because if you're in my Wealth Vibe membership, we've had this card come up in some readings recently. If you have even watched recent readings on this channel, I think this card has come up once or twice very recently. So if you've been picking those piles and you've come to this one as well, or you have the Wealthy Woman deck at home, I know a lot of you have it at home and you will pull similar cards when you see this. So if this card has been coming up for you, I'm getting the nudge to tell you that it's like there's a really good opportunity that's in your face that you're kind of missing because you're focusing on what could go wrong. You're focusing on the old pains. You're focusing on like wanting to be right is what I'm getting, rather than wanting to expand into abundance, which is funny because we often think, no, I don't need to be right. I just want the wealth. I just want the security. I want the overflow, all that. But sometimes pride's a funny thing, right? And sometimes we, without realizing it, want to be right more than we want to be rich or wealthy. And that's okay, but if you want the abundance, you got to look at like, where is my pride holding me back, right? This is also, if you haven't been seeing this card lately, that's still valid for you to look at. But really, I see a lot of beautiful energy in this card and a lot of potential for growth and expansion, right? Like your wounds, your triggers around money, they're coming up now. They'll be coming up over the next 2 years. This is like an intense period for you of clearing them so that you can evolve and learn from them and become so much stronger and see more opportunities for growth, right? But if you let yourself just drown in them, right? We have this wire, if you let yourself just drown in them, you're going to expand further into them, rather than expanding further into abundance and into opportunities and possibility. So I want to pull another card from the Wealthy Woman Oracle deck before we move on, because I just want to get a little more clarity. What does deck 3's, assuming you go this path of allowing your wounds to surface, allowing that pessimism to surface, and gently choosing differently and healing anything that needs to be healed in order for you to do that, assuming you do that and that you're erring on the side of positivity and optimism over the next couple of years, where is that going to lead deck 2? What is that going to lead where's that going to lead deck 3? Where is that going to lead you? It's going to lead you to, oh my gosh. It's going to lead you to massive financial transformation. It's so funny because all 3 of our decks so far have been about transformation, but for you, it's much more like, for you, it's going to be taking a lot of lemons and turning them into lemonade. You're going to, if you decide to truly approach everything with this kind of like strong yet open heart of how can I use every opportunity as a growing experience and as an opportunity to choose from love instead of fear and to heal those parts of myself, you will transform immensely. Like you will transform and your reality is going to look different, and you will have people around you saying, wow, you really went through the ringer the last 2 years. I'm so impressed with how it's turned out for you. I don't think I would be that strong. And you're going to look at them and say, it didn't feel like I was going through the ringer. I was just growing a lot, but growth can be uncomfortable and people fear change, right? So others will look at you in awe and you will have completely come out on top and have a much improved, much more elevated financial experience than you currently have right now. That's if you decide to take that route, right? You always have that option not to. So that's very encouraging. There's a lot available to you here in the next 2 years, deck 3. And I want to say this, and I'm being guided to say this kind of as a word of encouragement, because I feel like so far this is kind of the heaviest of the 3 readings we've done. But it's just that the universe is saying, like, it's not that you're not on track. It's that you have to choose how you're going to walk the path that you're going to be on for the next couple of years. And that's going to determine where that path leads you. But the power is all yours. You have that choice. And guess what? The good news too, at any point you have the choice to stop looking at the negative and start looking for the positive, right? Like at any time. You're just going to get to this completely different financial reality, this upgraded financial reality, faster if you choose not to just focus on the negative, you know? So yeah, but overall it's like, I want to be clear. For some of you, there might be some really big events that feel very heavy and dark and deep that you have to really grow through, and it's going to be a dark night of the soul. For most of you, these are more just, it's just like another, it's almost more like this again, or like, oh, another unexpected bill. Oh, I have more car problems. Like there are things that are infuriating, but they're nothing really dark, right? Like that's for most of you, and for most of the things you're going to encounter. It's just like little thing after little thing that's building you up into the version of you that you're meant to become, right? And like, it's just kind of like playing on hard mode in a video game. It's like, you're just, the next 2 years, it might even, again, if you choose to look for the optimism, you expect things to work out, you look for the opportunities in every situation for growth and for abundance and for expansion. It's not even going to feel that hard, right? But you are playing at a higher level, meaning you are taking on and integrating so much more than most people around you will, because you're looking to, you're intentionally trying to. And it's going to create, like I said, this massive, rapid growth. And it's going to be really, really powerful to see. So, and just lead you to really, really abundant things. So, what else do we have? Life is speeding up. What did I just say? Rapid change. The cards are on point today. They usually are, but even additionally so today. Life is speeding up. If you're not already at that crossroads where there's something that you already know, you could see yourself going down a more negative path or a more positive path, you're going to get there real fast. And even if you are there, or you've just moved through something like that, there's going to be another thing and another thing. Life is speeding up. These next 2 years are going to go by like that for you. Pile 2. They're going to go by like that for you. You're like, it's like, I don't know why I'm getting this guidance to share with you. This is what's coming through from my guides. They're like, they're kind of laughing because they know it's a ridiculous analogy, but it's true. You are, assuming you choose to look at everything as an opportunity for growth, you look for the opportunities for abundance, you look as everything through the most positive silver lining lens you can. As long as you do that, I'm like almost crying laughing. This is the energy I'm getting from my guides because this is so silly, but they're like, it's like when you're in rush hour traffic in a major city and you got like 5 lanes going one way on the highway and they're all backed up and you're in the carpool lane where no one is and you're just flying past everyone else. Like that's how fast you're going to be going, how quickly things are going to be transforming. I'm seeing that money can start shifting very quickly for you. It's not that you have to wait 2 years to get to the transformed financial reality. It's like the transformation will keep happening. And just when you think it can't possibly get any better or you can't transform anymore or up level anymore, you do, and you do again and you do again. And it's like, it's going to be kind of, like I said, a wild ride for you, but it's going to be really fun and really rewarding. Let spirit be your guide. Hawk spirit, let spirit be your guide. Deck 3. A level of trust in the universe will help you a lot. A level of surrender, but also just asking for guidance, asking to be shown if you struggle to see things through that positive lens at any juncture. Ask the universe to help you see what you can't see. Ooh, interesting guidance. Ask the universe to help you see what you can't see. Right? And then look for the signs, look for the guidance, listen, tune in. The universe is there to support you. You're not alone. It might feel easy to feel like, again, because if you're in the carpool lane going whoosh, going faster than everyone, and if you're in another country, not in the US, and you don't have carpool lanes, I apologize if the analogy doesn't make any sense. But ultimately, if you think about all this traffic over here and you're the only one just zipping by it all, while everyone else is stuck in gridlock and moving just a little bit and a little bit time, and you're just whoosh, zipping past, that can feel really lonely. Like it's a lot of fun. You're going to have a lot of fun if you choose to see it that way. But it can also feel kind of isolating. It can feel kind of lonely. It can also just feel like you're in it on your own, that the people around you can't understand it, right? And if that's the case, ask Spirit to be your guide. Ask Spirit to send you people who get it. Ask Spirit to support you, to help you feel supported by the universe, by others. Ask for that support. Again, if you want support with that and with seeing things through the positive lenses, you want that like-minded community, come join me inside the Wealthified membership. That's what I created this community for, so that you would have like-minded people, myself included, to be zipping along with you in the carpool lane, right, on your way to abundance. So the link for that is below if you want to check that out. But truly, ask the universe to show you the support, and you'll be shocked at how quickly it comes too. All right, I want to see, how did deck 3 get to this? How did they get to this abundance? Like, I know it's through looking at the positive, but like, is there anything about career? Anything about how the money actually comes in? Yeah, of course. I mean, I love to see it, but it's just like, yeah, of course. Release expectations and follow your bliss. Like literally reading that off the cards. Release expectations. The more expectations you have, the more you are going to be disappointed when they don't work out. You're going to feel like things aren't working out for you. You're not going to be able to see the good, right? So release expectations, follow your bliss. This is really the card that, this is all about for you following, we see the bear being attracted to this sweet honey scent from the bees and following his bliss to it. It's like for you, what you want, like every opportunity you come up against, every challenge you come up against, every moment of every day, every minute, every hour, as much as you can over the next years, ask yourself, what do I feel called to do? What do I truly want to be doing? And see what you can do in each moment to follow your bliss. Sometimes that'll be a big thing, like applying for that new job or taking that big opportunity in your business or something like that, or pivoting your business and offering something different. Most of the time it'll just be small things like go for a walk. Go, post that thing online that you wanted to share with people, that piece of writing you did or that song you created or that one thought you had or that question. Like just follow what feels good, follow your bliss, and it's going to lead you in this amazing way. It's going to lead you to things that the money's going to come in. Again, assuming you're looking for the positive in these opportunities, for everything to be an opportunity to follow your bliss more. The more you do that, the more that you're going to make money in a way that feels better to you than it ever has before in the next 2 years. You're gonna feel like life is speeding up in your favor in that sense. You're gonna the way the money's gonna come through as you keep looking for opportunities to grow, for opportunities to follow your bliss. Like you're gonna find yourself, if you're not already, making money in a way that you truly love. This could be a pivot in career. It could just be you get a different kind of upgrade or shift in your responsibilities at work and you end up loving that so much. Maybe it's just the perspective shift helps you fall back in love with what you do to make money. Whatever it is, you're going to be making money in a way that feels so good to you. So good to you. And that's always what I want to see. I don't want you making money in a way that doesn't feel good, because what's the point of that? I mean, I know money's nice to have, but if we're not feeling fulfilled on the way to it and allowing it to help us become our best selves, that's such a missed opportunity, right? It's my personal belief. All right. Any last guidance for deck number 3? Making waves. Momentum is building. It's your time. Achievement. You guys, momentum. You're just, yeah. Stagnant waters, feeling stuck, a call for shifts, flow, and change. Especially because it's over here on this side. What I see again is you might be feeling stagnant right now. You might be feeling like you're just stuck at this crossroads we've been talking about, at this decision. It's a call for, this is a time for you to shift. Even this video is a wake-up call for you potentially. It's a time for you to shift, to flow, to change. This is your sign to change. This is your sign to start looking at everything and saying, how is this happening for me? How is this happening to help me grow? How is this happening to expand me? What can I learn from this? What opportunities are here that maybe I'm not seeing? What is this asking me to step into or learn or heal, right? Introspecting every chance you get, at every juncture where you feel stuck or stagnant, right? And if that's where you're feeling right now, if you choose this way, you choose from love, you choose to follow your bliss, you choose to look at every opportunity as an opportunity to do what you love a little bit more, to bring yourself in alignment with who you want to become, to grow, to expand, you look at everything through that lens of positivity and growth, then that's when all this momentum kicks in and whoosh, off you go. And the momentum builds. The momentum builds because it is your time. This is your time. You're going to achieve so much. Like I said, you're going to achieve so much. People are going to look at you in 2 years' time and go, how did you do that? How did you do that? Please tell us your secrets. You're going to be like, every opportunity, I just said, how can I grow? How can I follow my bliss more? How can I follow what feels good to me? How can I look at, what's the silver lining here? That's really a question. What's the silver lining here? What is this inviting me to step further into or to release or heal? What's the silver lining? How is this happening for me? The more you do that, oh my gosh, the momentum's going to build and people are going to be just in awe of where you are right now versus where you are 2 years from now. They're going to look at you and go, how is that even possible? How did you do that? How did you have the strength to do it? And you're like, it wasn't hard because everything I was looking for an opportunity to feel good and to grow, especially in your career, especially in your work, especially around money, especially in what you're doing to make money, right? Oh my gosh. Fantastic, fantastic transformation, deck 3. So, deck 3, I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and comment below letting me know what you took from it, how it resonated. I always love getting to hear your thoughts on these and connecting with you all in the comments. It really is the highlight of doing these readings. So I always do cherish the comments, even if I can't reply to them all. Thank you so much for commenting, and please continue to comment. I love to get to read your thoughts on these, hear how it helps you, what you take away from it. It just means the world. You are also welcome, if you're not already, to subscribe to my channel for future card readings for abundance. And if you want to come join me inside of the Wealth by membership so you can get access to all the resources, support, and community that you need to really just expand at a rapid rate that's laid out in front of you, deck 3, then and really manifest that wealth you desire in the most phenomenal, impressive way, then I would love to get to connect with you inside of the membership there. The link for the Wealth by membership and the link to pre-order the Wealthy Woman Oracle deck so you can do your own readings for abundance whenever you like is in the description below. So with all that being said, I'm wishing you massive prosperity and abundance and transformation that just feels so rewarding. And I'll see you in another video very soon. Bye. Hello, deck number 4. This is your reading to uncover what your finances will look like 2 years from now. We may also be getting into your career. We'll see what comes up in the reading. An important note specifically for this reading that I want to share with you is that I am reading what you are currently on track for. So what the trajectory you are on right now, what track you're on, and how that's extending out 2 years from now financially for you. So you can change your trajectory and therefore your future at any time between now and 2 years from now, especially when you make any significant changes in your mindset, your energy, your actions, specifically around money or work. That will shift your direction or keep you more in track with what we uncover here. So if you would like support in more intentionally shaping your future financial reality, or just staying on track and aligned with the one we uncover here in this reading, then you are absolutely welcome to come join me inside of the Wealth Vibe membership, because that's what we do in there with our monthly challenges, our book club, our exclusive card readings, our exclusive meditations and resources, and of course our high vibe like-minded community. I truly created the Wealth by membership to help you learn how to take your inner power and translate it into outer abundance. So if you feel called to join, I would love to get to connect with you in there. The link for the Wealth by membership is in the description and the pinned comment below. So with all that being said, let's dive into our reading. We're going to move your crystal out of the way. I'm actually going to set your deck aside for now. We're going to use this later. I've been finding that with the other readings in this video specifically, starting them off with the Wealthy Woman Oracle deck has been the most helpful because, I mean, of course, I designed this deck to be used to get this guidance in reading specifically for money and abundance. So if we're going to predict your future around money, we're going to start with this one, right? So, wow, it's already coming out. I didn't even have to ask, but I want to know what deck 4's money or finances looks like 2 years from now. So let's see what your cards say. We have the Healer card. We have the Pathfinder, and we have the Rogue card. Ooh, very interesting, deck 4. Okay. Deck 4, your financial reality in 2 years from now, it looks so much more like peaceful or even luxurious than where you are right now is what I'm getting. It looks so much more like stable. This could mean like more finances. It also could just mean like the way the money's coming in just feels more secure, feels more fulfilling even. I just see so much, like, you just have a healed relationship with money 2 years from now. And even if you feel like your relationship right now is pretty healthy around money, like the universe is saying there are just different layers and different things you're going to experience over the coming 2 years that are going to just completely change how you look at money, your relationship with it, your relationship with work, your relationship even with yourself. There's so much there's so much like just peace in your future financially, like 2 years from now. This could mean that you're making tons more money if that's to you what you need to feel peaceful around money. It could be that your income stays more or less where it is if you're happy with it, or stays kind of only goes up a little bit or something like that. But you just have such a different mentality around it. Like, and honestly, okay, all 4 of these readings show the potential for transformation in different ways and of different magnitudes. But yours, of all the 4 decks, deck 4, it feels the most peaceful. It feels the most evolved, honestly. And this isn't to say that the other 3 decks, that they're unevolved or they're beneath you in any way or anything like that. It's more to say that, like, it's just the universe is really asking me to drive home the point that when it comes to money, we often think that like having more of it or that dream job or something like that is what's going to make us feel successful or fulfilled or anything like that. Like, I see you getting to a point where you are so almost detached from money in terms of what it means about you or the effect you allow it to have on your life in any negative way. And you just are so free. Like, you are free. Maybe it's financial freedom. Fantastic. Even if it's not, you don't even care in tears, because you in no way have your emotions or your mental well-being or your sense of self tied into money, which on a personal note, in my mind, is the biggest success. And I say this as someone who has been doing work to help people manifest more money for almost 6 years now, and who I have gone through tons of personal growth, healing, all that with money. And I've had lots of successes, lots of failures, all these things, and have grown exponentially with wealth. But I found that it doesn't matter how much money comes in or doesn't. What matters is how you feel about it. Because at the end of the day, we think we want the money we want because we think we're going to feel better in some way when we have it, right? This is something Abraham Hicks says all the time about different things we do, right? Like, anything you're manifesting, you think you want it because you think you're going to feel better in having it, right? In some shape or form. And I won't deny, right, that money is, in a lot of ways, to live in our modern society, a necessity. I won't downplay that or tell you that that's not a legitimate way to look at money, but there is a way to hold your relationship with money in this very peaceful way, in this very healthy way, in this way that is so free, where you are totally free of fear around money, of not having enough, of scarcity or anything else around it, totally free of feeling like you're chasing it, totally free of feeling like you're at the whim of it. Like, I'm just seeing so much freedom here for you with money. It's really beautiful. And if I could pick any of these 4 decks, this is the one I would pick, right? Like, and again, all of them are fantastic. Not mad at any of them. I think this is the ultimate prize. This is my personal opinion, right? The universe is kind of being like, yeah, this is amazing for you. This is just fantastic. If this is your reality 2 years out from there, if this is what you stay aligned with, amazing. The universe is so pleased. My spirit team is super pleased about it. Me personally, talking as Taylor, right? Not just channeling just for a moment, is like, that's what we all really want. And it's what I have found I was chasing for so long. And it took me a few years to realize that I wasn't chasing money, and money wouldn't actually ever make me feel more stable or secure or free until I figured out how to be free of the grip of money, right? Like, I have a very loving relationship with money. Clearly, I love talking about it. It's a passion of mine. But when the deeper I'm able to go into detaching my worth from money, detaching my fear around money or what may or may not happen when I have it or don't have it, from how the money's going to happen, like, when I can detach and detangle myself from money and just see it as an external tool, as an external thing, that's just another representation of energy in our reality, I've already won, right? And that's what's available to you, and probably on an even deeper level than what I've even achieved, is what I'm seeing at this point in time, right? Like, 2 years from now, where you will be in your mindset and your relationship and your mental well-being around money is just, it's like, it's goals, right? For the rest of us, it's goals. Hopefully I'm there with you. But it's like, that's what you're headed for. And from there, abundance has no choice but to flow to you. Maybe it flows to you in money. Maybe it flows to you in other resources or ways. but I see you being wildly abundant and very free 2 years from now. I'm like, honestly though, for some of you, it's not going to be financial abundance. Like, you'll still be fine financially. I don't see any of you living in lack. Not at all. You'll have enough financially, but there's going to be so many other ways that you're provided for that you feel like the richest person in the world. Like, you will truly feel like the richest person in the world. You might even be one of the richest people in the world by monetary terms. That's available for some of you. For a lot of you, you'll have enough money. You might have more than enough money, but it's not going to be like mind-blowing wealth. But your relationship with it, it's like, that's what people actually want. You have, in 2 years' time, like the real goal, the real prize when it comes to money and wealth. I'm just like, I'm blown away by that. How you're going to get there, right? How you're going to get there is by leaving behind any stories that tell you that it's going to be hard, or that you're not safe or secure, right? Like, doing whatever you need to do now, right? You were saying you're kind of in a position where you're being asked to maybe take care of some loose ends, address some things. Maybe they're inner things. I get these as more like almost like financial, like budgeting things, or like saving for things, or putting aside for things, or asking for that raise or whatever it is. Like, there's some practical things that the universe is saying that you can do now to help make sure you're going down this path and heading towards this direction. But there's just some like little loose ends to be tied up, right? Where you are right now, so that you don't kind of keep plateauing or keep yourself stuck or keep feeling like there's any sort of entanglement of yourself, your worth, your self-worth, your mental health, your freedom in life. Like, all that gets to be detangled from money, right? But there's some things that need to happen that maybe need your attention, that you just need to give your conscious attention to for a little bit first, right? So this could be like, if you, like, for some reason, if you got back taxes to pay, figuring out how you're going to pay them, making a plan, starting to pay them, those sorts of things. That's something that, just like those more logistical things where you're like, yeah, all right, I gotta resolve this, or start making steps to resolving it so that I can, get more into the state. What's holding the question here? Ooh, you were saying, ask yourself the question after this reading. Sit with yourself and ask yourself, or you might even know as I say this, ask yourself, what in my life is happening financially that makes it hard or impossible for me to feel peaceful around money? Make a list of whatever it is, and then start tackling those things. Right? Start tackling those things. Those things they're happening for you so that you can have this opportunity to consciously choose peace around money, to consciously to grow through these challenges, right? And see what you're capable of, see what you're capable of doing. Maybe it's a plan to tackle any debt you have. Even if you can't start paying it down now, just not sticking your head in the sand around it, right? Like, looking at it and understanding how much you have and how much you want to pay off, and when you think you might be able to have it paid off, or just having a plan to start paying it off, or what can you do to do that, right? Like, looking at those things and seeing just what are the little things that need your attention. What are the financial things, the career things? Maybe it's a relationship with, your boss at work that isn't good, that needs to be, mended, or something like that, right? Like, there's just some things happening right now that maybe feel like you're like, there's no way I could ever be at peace around money. But it's like the universe saying, no, those things are your gateway to peace around money, because they're going to show you where you are still attached to money. They're going to show you how you can better maybe manage your money so you create more of this peace for yourself. There's lessons for you in all of those things. So make sure you're looking for those lessons, but also addressing these things, right? As you do that, you're going to start to clear up your energy, clear up your energy around money, and just your energy in general, and your physical energy, because you're not holding all of these, like kind of roadblocks or these worries around money. And what you'll find is that over the next 2 years, the more that you keep listening to what feels good to you, what you're inspired about, what excites you, what truly excites you, the more you kind of keep looking at that and making that your metric of success. Like, how fully do you allow yourself to pursue and go after the things that excite you, not the things you think are going to make you money necessarily, right? Like, how fully are you able to do that? Of course, while still holding down a job or whatever you need to do, right? Or how you even monetize those things, right? Or bring those into your work. But the more you can follow what excites you and really look for the passion in life and make that your metric of success, that's how you're going to access the peace, right? That's how you're going to access this just the most fulfilling, rich life you could imagine. Truly. You're going to fall so, I'm like getting teary-eyed. You're going to fall so deeply in love with your life over the next 2 years. And money will come in miraculous ways and ways you can't predict, because when you're fully in love with like when you're doing what you love to do and you're not worried about looking successful or achieving something, and you're instead just like, look, I have enough to get by, I have more than enough to pay my bills and be comfortable, or I'm taking care of the things that prevented me from being able to do that. Now it's like any extra time I have or in my work and in my day, I'm looking for opportunities to follow what excites me. With our Pathfinder card here, it's like you're going to naturally just like, you're going to fall so deeply in love with life. Your life is going to be like a dream. It's going to be so fulfilling. It's going to feel like you're in a fairy tale every day. And it doesn't matter how much money is or isn't coming in. You'll feel that way. And when you find a way to feel that way by following what you excites you and being like, I am successful when I follow what excites me. That's my goal in life. When you make that the goal and that the metric for success, rather than how much money do I have, how far along am I in my corporate trajectory, all those things, like when you look more at how much am I doing the things that light me up, how excited am I each day to get out of bed and do things or do these things on the weekend or after work or whatever it is, it's like the more you do that, oh my gosh, like the money just pours in, because most people aren't living their life that way. But for you, it's like, it's not even like the money is completely taken off the pedestal. It's not the goal and it's not the metric of success. It's just a byproduct. That's truly like, that's next level around money manifestation. And you're going to be able to master that in the next 2 years. And that means you're going to be able to master money manifestation. But you might choose, now I'm getting why I was seeing that for some of you. You might not be, manifesting tons of money in the future. It's like, because you're like, I don't really need it. I'm provided for. I have a gig that allows me to travel whenever I want, and it pays for my travel, so I don't even need the money for the travel, right? Like, it's interesting how sometimes when we realize the true nature of manifesting wealth and what it really takes together to do it on this next level, how little the money actually matters and how little we actually want to manifest the money, because it's not actually the money, it's manifesting the experience or that hotel stay or whatever, and that can come so many different ways. Like, you are going to truly become a master manifester of what you desire and the life you desire, and you're going to fall so deeply in love with your life and be so fulfilled that, but you're going to truly understand how unnecessary money is in a lot of ways, because there's other ways you can have the resources or things you want or need. And you're going to be so detached. And then of course, like, there's opportunities for money to flow in, but you'd be like, I don't even need to manifest that. I'm just going to manifest the thing I want directly that I would have spent the money on, right? Amazing. I could talk forever about that. All right, deck 4. Wolf Spirit. Turn knowledge into wisdom. I'm going to pull one more card. I want one more card for this deck just to see what else. Take time out. Like, for you, this is all about, like, these next 2 years are almost about, I see you escaping the rat race, like escaping the hustle, escaping the hustle mentality of our world, or in job, in your business, in chasing monetary goals just for the numbers and what you think that's going to make you feel inside. Like, I see you truly escaping from the rat race, and I see you also being an inspiration to others. It could be in a very public way, and you might make a big impact on others with this, or it could also just be like a huge impact on your family or the people around you and those, your coworkers, or looking at you and being like, wow, I thought like, we get so lost, right? We get so lost. And it feels like we're almost like we have a veil over our eyes where we're just got blinders on, and we're trying so hard to just get to the money we want. And we make that the goal and the prize and the metric for success. And you're breaking free from all of that over the next 2 years and being able to tap into how beautiful life is and creating a truly beautiful life. Step 4. And that's going to inspire people, because most people are chasing after money or feeling spiteful of it, or feeling like they're at the whim of money or their job or something like that. Like, you're going to show them a different way of being, and it's going to change their lives too. You're going to bring people with you on this journey. Wow, that's really cool. All right. What other guidance for deck 4? I was going to ask some specific questions, but I'm just like, you're so on another level from where I thought this reading was going to take us. So we're just going to see what comes up. create intentional solitude. Okay. So, having time to reflect over the next 2 years, like creating, I'm seeing you, what I'm getting the guidance to share with you is I'm seeing you creating, I could see a weekly practice, maybe it's even a daily practice, but a weekly practice where you take some time for yourself. Maybe it's a couple hours, maybe it's just a half hour, 15 minutes, whatever you got, depending on your time and your life, right? But creating some intentional quiet time to just sit with yourself and sit with how good life is. And you're like cultivating the habit of looking for how good and how sweet life is right now, regardless of whatever's happening with your finances. It's just creating that intentional solitude to create space for you to truly start to detach from money, right? To take it off the pedestal. And then we have tell shame to suck it. Again, you're going to be healing so much. I see that maybe one of the big things to be healed too internally, right, around your relationship with money is any shame around money. I see you healing quite a bit over the next 2 years and really releasing any shame you have about maybe past regrets around money, past financial situations, or even your current financial situation. Like maybe you're not where you thought you should be by now, financially, where you're told you should be in life financially, or where your parents expected you to be, or society says you should be around money, or maybe it's around, like we said, maybe if you have debt, it's you're going to release shame in any area you have it and any corners it's hiding in around money. And that's going to be part of what frees you up so much. So that's somewhere to look at specifically is what areas, this is a great journaling prompt, is where am I holding shame around money? What memories do I have around money or work that bring up a feeling of shame in me? And start to look at, with love, right? Very much with love. How do I heal these things myself? How do I release these things? The healer card specifically is all about healing through love, right? Like healing the flow of money by unblocking the flow of love within you, right? Like, so where, especially around money, are you not giving yourself enough love or taking love away from yourself by being ashamed of anything around it? The universe wants to say right now, money is an illusion. And I know that's a funny thing to hear on a channel like this where we do money readings. But truly, when you get down to it, and you're going to understand this, that so many people will never understand this in their lives, but this is what you're maybe already understand or are coming to understand in the coming years here, Deck 4, is that money is an illusion. It's a man-made construct, right? It's a outer representation of wealth. It's one measure of it, right? And what you have to understand here is that the more that you can unblock these little things, like little bits of shame, right? Little bits of these stories around money, the more you can unblock that, the more you let that love flow, the more the money flows, the more the abundance and the resources flow in all their different forms. Because money, it's not really real. It's just paper or coins. It's numbers on a bank screen, right? And so you're going to be living on this whole other level where you understand the illusion of money and what true abundance really is and how to manifest that abundance to provide for yourself and your loved ones and the people around you that you want to provide for. Like, you're going to understand this on a whole deeper level than you do now, 2 years from now. You're going to understand the true nature of wealth, right? And I say wealth, not riches, not money, true wealth in life. That is what you are heading towards in 2 years. My goodness, Deck 4. Let's get some last little cards, last little guidance for you here. Any last guidance for Deck 4? Deep sea diving. Way of the Mystic. Learn through experiencing depths. Yeah. You're diving really deep. You're going deep. This was a deep reading for you. Deck 4, you're going so deep into it. The Pink Dolphin. I don't know that I've ever actually seen this card in this deck. Celebration, fun, unbridled joy, open heart. Like, I mean, you're going so deep into your own transformation, into this understanding of what wealth truly is, what abundance truly is, whether it comes through money or otherwise. Like, you are going so deep into that. You are going to have such wisdom, such knowledge. Oh my goodness, Deck 4. And it's going to be fun. Your life, like I said, it's going to be like a dream. It's going to feel so good. You're just going to, what did I say? Unbridled joy, open heart. You're going to be so in love with life. Your life is going to be filled with so much love. And you're going to just be living this life of your dreams. And the money, it might be that that means you have tons of money, or it might mean you have just enough, but you are provided for in so many other ways and by the universe in so many different forms. So truly, truly beautiful. Deck 4, my goodness. All right, deck 4, I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and comment below letting me know what you took from it, how it resonated. I love getting to hear your thoughts on these, and I'm particularly interested to hear how this deck resonated with those of you who chose it, especially if you chose this one first. But of course, if you chose the second or third, if you watched multiple, I still love to hear it. But your comments just mean the world to me, and they help grow this channel and help me keep doing these videos for you all. You are also, of course, more than welcome, if you're not already, to subscribe to my channel for future card readings for abundance. And if you want to come join me inside the Wealthified membership so you can get access to all the resources, support, and community you need to stay on track with this reality and to manifest the true wealth, right? Not just money, but the wealth you desire that you are aligned with right now, deck 4, then I would love to get to connect with you there. You are very much like my soul family, because this is truly what we're all actually trying to get to, and this is what's available to you 2 years from now, which is just beyond exciting. So if you want to join me in the Wealthified membership, I would love to get to connect with you there. The link for that and the link to pre-order the Wealthy Woman Oracle deck, which honestly, like you've seen here, is really just the best deck out there for doing readings for abundance and wealth. The link for that and for the Wealthified membership are both in the description and in the pinned comment below. So with all that being said, I am wishing you massive, massive prosperity and abundance, true wealth at the deepest sense of the word, so much love, right? I'm wishing that all for you. It's all available for you, deck 4, and I'll see you in another video very soon. Bye.